Specializing in physics and mathematics, he earned a diploma of academic education from the Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich in 1900. The following year he obtained Swiss citizenship, which he never renounced. Although initially struggling to find work, he worked as a patent examiner at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern from 1902 to 1909. Einstein did extensive research in various fields of physics and contributed to many new inventions and discoveries. His most famous contributions were the special theory of relativity, which unified mechanics and electromagnetism, and the general theory of relativity, which established a new theory of gravity by applying the theory of relativity to non-uniform motion. His other contributions include the solution of various problems in relativity, capillary action, transient chromaticity, statistical mechanics, and quantum theory that led him to explain the Brownian motion of molecules, the possibility of molecular transients, the quantum theory of monomolecular gases, the thermal behavior of light at low radiation densities, a theory of radiation that formed the basis of photon theory, the first concept of unified field theory, and the geometrization of physics. In 1933, while visiting the United States, Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany. Being Jewish, Einstein never returned to Germany. He settled in childhood and primary education. A young boy with short hair and a round face, wearing a white collar and large bow, with vest, coat, skirt and high boots. He is leaning against an ornate chair. Einstein at the age of 3 in 1882. Einstein was born in Ulm on March 14, 1879, the year of the death of James Clerk Maxwell, the most famous theoretical physicist of the 19th century. 8. He spent his childhood in Munich. Einstein's parents were secular middle-class Jews. His father, Hermann Einstein, originally made and sold feather beds. Later, when the family moved to Munich, Hermann and his brother Jacob established a factory producing electrical devices based on unidirectional electricity, where they achieved moderate success. His mother, Pauline Koch, was the housekeeper. He had a sister named Maya. She was born 2 years after Einstein. 2 things in his childhood amazed him immensely. First, at the age of 5, he received a compass and was amazed at its use. How could an invisible force cause the compass needle to change direction? Since then, he had a special interest in invisible forces throughout his life. 9. Then, at the age of 12, he was introduced to a book on geometry. He enjoyed studying this book so much that he called it the Holy Little Geometry Book for the rest of his life. 10. In fact, the book was Euclid's Elements. Einstein entered a Catholic primary school at the age of 5 and studied there for 3 years. He did not have much speech, but nevertheless did well in school. 11. At the age of 8, he was transferred to the Leupold Gymnasium, now known as the Albert Einstein Gymnasium, where he received an advanced primary and secondary education. After studying there for 7 years, he left the German Empire. At the age of 10, he was particularly influenced by a medical student named Max Talmud. He would occasionally go to their house for dinner. Thus, for a time, he became Einstein's unannounced tutor. 10. Talmud taught him higher math. Anu said, "Dad, tell me about Einstein." Nilkan Tababu said, Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany, and died on April 18, 1955. According to his wishes, his body was cremated. Bindu said, "But we don't know about his childhood." "Yes, I am telling you," said Nilkan Tababu. In 1880, his father, Hermann Einstein, moved to Munich with his mother, Pauline. There, he established an electrical equipment and engineering factory. Albert Einstein studied at several schools in Munich. He also took music lessons. He carried a violin with him even after he grew up. Reika was happy to hear about music. She said, "Was Einstein a good student from childhood?" "Not at all," said Nilkan Tababu. The school teachers often complained about this inattentive student. No one was with him in class. He always sat at the back bench. Not only that, others could not pay attention to him. So he was punished after school. At the age of 15, he had to leave school with very poor grades in history, geography, and linguistics and without obtaining any degree. When his father's business went into recession, he left Munich and moved to Milan in 1894. Einstein was left alone? Said Sima. Yes, he later got admitted to a polytechnic school in Switzerland. But he could not pass the entrance exam there on the first try. Bindu, Sima, Anu all smiled at Einstein's news. Seeing the state management and the hostile attitude, Albert officially renounced his German citizenship on January 28, 1896. However, in 1914, the Germans granted him citizenship again. After failing the entrance exam, he had to enroll in the Aarau Canton School as a last resort. That city is not far from Zurich, and if he passes from there, he is directly admitted to the Polytechnic School. He studied physics at that Polytechnic School for 4 years. This school was the center of interest for everyone around the world at that time. After completing his polytechnic education, he took a job as a technology officer. Einstein went through a very difficult time because of his son's mental health issues, said Jeff Rosencrans, an editor and deputy director of the Einstein Papers Project. Albert Einstein's youngest child was named Eduard. He was affectionately called Tate. There were concerns about his health within the family as a child. But his mental health problems were discovered much later. His life was very tragic, Rosencrans said. Albert Einstein's first wife, physicist Mileva Maric, had 3 children. Not much is known about their daughter, Lieserl, and her life is largely shrouded in mystery. Lieserl was their eldest child. The middle child, Hans Albert, achieved fame as a scientist during his lifetime, but he never achieved the fame of his father. The reason my father was exceptional was that he didn't give up easily. He would throw himself into solving certain problems. Even if it was a wrong solution, he would try again and again. If he failed once, he would do it again, said Hans Albert. The only problem he gave up on solving was me. He tried to give me advice. But he soon realized that I was a stubborn person and that spending time on me would be a waste, he said. A quote from an Albert Einstein. Pupia Debbie Asru. Biography. May 5, 2017. Article. Suddenly one day, the boy's father went to his school principal and asked, what profession should his little son choose in the future? The teacher replied in a single sentence, whatever profession it is, it doesn't matter, because he won't be able to do anything in any of them. Such an irrefutable answer from the headmaster of that day. Not only that, but once the school authorities scolded him from the school for saying, your presence in the class is disrupting and affects the other students. Childhood Einstein. That boy grew up to achieve such an impossible feat, it would not be an exaggeration to call it a great revolution in the world of science. He completely changed Newton's concept of the world and the universe and discovered the theory of relativity. He said, the speed and energy of objects, time and space, that is, time and space, are all absolute or unchangeable, not constant, everything is relative. Everything changes with the change in the speed of objects and with it the position of the observer. Only the speed of light does not change. The student of the master who declared, nothing will happen, is none other than the great scientist Albert Einstein. Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm.